we have our first female vice president, and we have our first black vice president. Well, obviously, we have our first female black vice president. By the way, we also are our first South Asian vice president.
Yeah,
and so, look, I grew up in New Jersey, so I always say like half my friends are Indian. It's not exactly right. About a third are Indian, a third are Asian, and the other third is Turkish, Jewish, et cetera, right? And black. and you look at my fantasy football league, and half the league is Indian or black, right? So that's one of us. I just, for a second, I don't love identity politics, certainly not the way the corporate Democrats use it, or the way that Republicans use it, which is white identity politics and the worst of all, right? But for a second, for all of us minorities, it's a nice moment to have a half black, half Indian female vice president. And it's a great moment for America, because the idea of America was that we were better than just being for one race or one ethnicity, that we were for all of us, and that we actually had equality and justice for all. And so even if we disagree with Kamala Harris's politics here and there, it is a wonderful moment for America that someone like Kamala Harris could become vice president.
Yeah.
So, and again, for all of you who turned out to vote, we needed every one of those votes in those swing states. The election was this close in those swing states. And thank you from the bottom of our heart for making that reality, for making that possible, and for making the promise of America real on a day like this.
Yeah, really fast. I think that that's awesome. I remember, just a few days ago seeing on Halloween some little girls dressing as Kamala Harris, and I like, it's awesome. It's not everything. It's not. We're not one of those people. Obviously, policy, ideology, values, they're obviously very important, but representation does actually matter. And you know what? The way that the generations are going, those little girls dressing as Kamala Harris, if they're inspired to go into politics, they're gonna be way to the left of Kamala Harris, they're gonna be way to the left of us, and they're gonna be awesome politicians someday. They're gonna be Squad 50.0, it's gonna be great, I can't wait.
Yeah, and guys, it took 250 years to get a woman in some part of the White House to be just vice president. 250 years.
Jeez.
All people were supposed to be created equal according to the founding documents of America. Yes, I know they said all men, but they also said you should perfect this union and you should amend this Constitution to give more and more people liberty. And we did. We amended the Constitution almost exactly 100 years ago to allow women to vote. And then after women were allowed to vote, even though they are a majority of the country, it took 100 years to get to this moment, but we have arrived. So thank God for that. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.